All right, you guys can go ahead with Christian.
Christian, I thought that that third one you hit, I thought that was another home run, man. Did you think you just clipped the wall? What was going on there?
I don't know. I just hit and ran, honestly.
Did you want to get waved around? I mean, I don't know how close it would have been, but I mean, ending the game on a inside the park. I mean, that would have been kind of cool. Were you maybe thinking there was a chance or no?
Nah, I was gonna stop at third regardless. That was my idea.
Well, Christian, man, you were fun to watch today with that ball over the batter's eye and two jacks, dude. Like take me through what you were seeing not only today but this whole kind of 2 game series.
Um, well, it was just a lot different velo than we're used to. So I just scooted up, saw a pitch every at bat before I swung, and just timed it up.
And Christian, that's one of the things I was wondering, man. Is like, is that velo? You hit it really well today. Is it going to maybe take a little bit of adjusting when you welcome Texas in here next weekend? Is that going to maybe be a challenge?
Yeah, I think it'll just be more so back in the box, and then not leg kicking, and then I'll be all right.
Thanks a lot, Christian.
Christian, this is probably a weird Zoom call for you because we look a lot alike and we didn't realize we wore the exact same clothes. But I'm Ben's twin. I normally cover the softball team, but I'm up here in O'Bray tonight, so you're not seeing double or anything. Now, I wanted to ask you, what did you see from Eric Walker here today?
He threw really good. I thought he did what he normally does. And that's what we're used to seeing from him. So we were all happy for him.
Because that's what I was going to ask. The energy was great, I thought, in the first couple innings. And in the dugout, y'all seemed really to get really behind Eric there when he started the game. How happy were you guys in the dugout to kind of see him put up 2 scoreless frames after a bit of a rough outing, kind of his last time out?
It was really exciting. It was big for him. It was big for us to get as many guys throwing good as possible. That's big for our team. So that's why we were all excited.
And my last question for you is, and obviously you play a different position, but if speaking as a baseball guy in general, what does that kind of do for you confidence-wise when you can come out and have a good day like Eric had today after a rough start like that?
I'm not sure how to answer that one.
Like, I mean, I guess, how important is it to, when you have a bit of a rough day, how important is it to kind of come back and your next time out have a good day so those bad days don't keep stacking up on each other?
I think it's super important, especially in baseball. If you have a bad day, once you leave the field, you got to erase it because tomorrow's a new day. If you carry it over, that's when people go into slumps, so they start pitching bad or they start fielding bad. So you have to erase it and just move on.
Well, I'm sure you're wanting to carry over at least a little bit of what we saw tonight. So congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Christian, I just talked to your JUCO coach a little bit ago. He was talking about how far you've come since he recruited you in high school and stuff. Can you kind of put in perspective how far you've come?
Out of high school, I didn't have grades to go Division One. I lost a scholarship actually to Oregon State, coming in as a sophomore. Almost didn't graduate high school because I wasn't paying attention in school. I was just focused on baseball, which was not smart. Got it together, got the offer from the junior college, got my grades up to something I've never had before. And then I got offered here, and I've been able to keep my grades up too.
How tough of a lesson was that with the grades?
It was hard. It was very hard. It was a shock. I mean, like, I knew if I didn't have grades, I wasn't going to be able to go. But like, when I got the call and they told me I didn't have the offer no more to go, that was just like, wow. I have to figure out something. I had to get out of California and I had to go be on my own in order to really focus. So that's what I ended up doing.
Why the need to get out of California and be on your own? Is it just too many distractions or what?
Kind of just, I feel like there's a lot to do in California, and that's where all my friends are. And me going away, it was easier for me to just really focus on me. So I think that's what really helped.
When did you realize, hey, this is going to work out at the next level?
Probably like after my freshman fall in the junior college, things just shifted. My grades were up. Baseball was going good. I was a lot more locked in on the field. And from there, it just kind of kept going up.
When you think now with where you're at now, what do you think about the kid who you were a few years ago?
That kid was done. I should have focused a lot more. If I can go back, I don't know if I would necessarily change it because it's made me who I am as a ball player and as a person, but I would not recommend that route.
Well, and some kids in your case would get drafted and just go instead of going to school because of the grade situation.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I know that I'm a good ball player, so I have to get my grades right in order to prove it at a big stage.
Awesome. Thanks, Christian. I appreciate it.
No problem. Hey, you're up, big dog. Have fun.
Big dog. That's what they call you? No, hey, so I thought you, man, it's always impressive. I always like seeing you come out of that pin because you just like light the radar going up, man. It's fun to see you throw it as fast as you do, as hard as you do. Take me through, kind of what you're feeling today.
Honestly, getting strike one over was pretty important today. It just kind of, allowed me to kind of do what I do. And that's really all there was to it.
And Zach, aside from, just your outing today and just the couple innings you pitched, how big was this series, as a way to kind of get back on track after what happened last weekend?
I mean, it was definitely big, especially getting all the guys out on the mound and getting us some time. And then our hitters, they hit really well over the weekend, but shoot, these last 2 days, it's been lights out for them. So.
Now, are you someone who kind of believes like being around baseball, as long as you have that, a team's hits can kind of get used up, or how do you think those hitters are going to continue their momentum this weekend?
I think it'll benefit them greatly this weekend, and they'll definitely continue to do so.
Thanks a lot, Zach.
Yeah, no problem.
Zach, first off, I want to say you're not tripping or anything. I'm Ben's identical twin, and we didn't happen to – that was an accident to wear kind of the same clothes. So I normally cover softball and decided to come up here. So that's why we look so similar. Now, I got to ask you, what did you see from the starter today, Eric Walker?
I thought Eric came out and did what he does. It was really great to see. He's one of those guys that I think everyone can get behind, no question.
That was the thing that I noticed up here, and maybe I haven't seen too many games from up here in the press box, but I thought the dugout was just kind of, I think that was the right word, like they were so behind him and everything. Everyone was kind of hyping him up on the mound in those first couple innings. What was it like for you and the team to see a guy like that have a good day and kind of rebound after a tough couple last outings?
For me, it just really, it excites me to see him do well, to be honest. He's such a great dude, and you just want to see him go out there and do his thing.
And as a fellow pitcher, I'm curious, could you kind of just speak to maybe confidence-wise? Everyone has bad days. That's how baseball works. But to follow up a bad day with a good day where you put up some scoreless innings, even the level of competition aside, what can that do for your confidence?
It definitely boosts you. So, I'm really looking forward to seeing him going out and doing it again. I think he's going to repeat it.
Appreciate the time.
Yeah, no problem.
It was a short stop. I think you might be good.
All right, sweet. Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Coach Holliday, what's going on?
Hey there. How you doing? There's two of you.
That was the thing I was going to say, Coach. We're identical twins. That's Ben and myself, and I'm normally covering softball, but I didn't realize we wore like the exact same clothes, so that was unintentional.
That was a split screen. Holy cow, there's two of you. That's awesome.
Now, do you know which one's Ben? Can you point?
The guy on my right's the guy I'm talking to all the time. The guy on the left's the new guy. Nice to see you. Far away.
No, I'm impressed. A lot of people have known me for a lot longer than you, and they still struggle with this. So
okay, that's pretty cool to have a twin. That's neat.
Now, Coach, another thing that was kind of neat was just the way you guys played, not only today, but this whole series. Kind of take me through what you saw, obviously on the batting side, but also there's some pretty decent pitching today.
I was very pleased today with all 5 kids that went to the mound. I thought the way we pitched the game last night was also very positive. So all the kids that went out there did a good job of getting their work in and making some adjustments and throwing the ball in a way that should give them a lot of confidence going into the weekend. So that's really good. Defense tonight was very good. We worked hard on our defense today to kind of get back into a rhythm and a really good mindset. We did that. And then I just appreciate the workmanlike way that we played the 2 games. Those are important games to play from the standpoint of we need to be out playing. And it's no disrespect to our opponent, but when you win at the first game by a large margin, sometimes it's hard to convince your team the second game is going to be highly competitive. So I appreciate the way the guys took care of their business tonight, played a clean game, played a fast, efficient game. And we accomplished the last 2 games what we hoped to, which was to get back on the field and play good and win. And some guys did some really good things. So, mission accomplished on Tuesday and Wednesday, and now we focus on the weekend.
Now, was it a matter of the coaches kind of sitting everyone down after that first game and, like you said, convincing the guys that it was going to be competitive this game? Or was that something that players kind of did on their own?
No, I think you just talk to your team about the honest element of competition, which is you're starting over. And, I want to compliment their pitcher tonight. That young man threw 140 pitches for his team. He also plays center field so that their weekend pitchers for their conference games didn't have to pitch. And that's a lot of courage to go out there and throw 140 some odd pitches and shoulder 10 runs. So you got to value and appreciate the spirit of the kids across the field. We have, just a little bit more depth and a little more firepower, and it showed up. So, like I said, we accomplished what we set out to accomplish. We handled things the right way, and now we get ready for the weekend.
And, Coach, maybe it is because on pitch 140, your arm's not going to be as solid as it is on pitch 1 maybe. But Christian was telling us that the velo he faced, this series was a little bit lower than maybe Big 12 conference. Do you expect it to maybe be a challenge to adjust back to the Big 12 velo this weekend?
No, I mean, you're playing pitches individually. It's always that way. We saw pitches this weekend that were moving 74, 75 miles an hour. They were breaking pitches. We saw pitches in this series that were moving 75 miles an hour that weren't breaking. We saw pitches against TCU moving in the mid to upper 90s, which will be more what we see again against Texas. So we'll adjust back to the speed of the game. We practice against high speed velocity. We've faced a lot of it. Our kids understand it. They'll adjust back up, and we'll spend some time in practice tomorrow, getting our timing back to more of that rapid moving pitch. So that is kind of the nature of the game.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
You're welcome.
Coach, I'll hop in here real quick. Just for a couple innings for him tonight and not too many batters faced, but I guess that's a good thing when you're a pitcher. So tell me what you thought about Eric Walker's performance today.
Well, I really wanted him to get the start this week. Both he and CJ, we wanted them to start these 2 games to get 2 guys that have been successful starting pitchers previously back into a starting pitcher's mode. To let them get ready for it. They stretched their arms out last week a couple of different times and built up some endurance and really tried to get back into that mindset. So we accomplished what we wanted to for him, which was to start a game and go back through his warm-up process and come out and set the tone, which he did. This is a game of confidence. It's such a game of how you feel about yourself each night when you go to bed, and it dictates how excited you are the next day to go back to work. And sometimes we need a real positive step to launch ourselves forward. So hopefully this start launches Eric forward and gets him back in motion. And I thought he did a good job. And I'm sure he could have gone a little further into the game, but we wanted to try to use about 5 or 6 guys tonight, and that was the right plan. So it's good for him, good for our team, and I think there's a chance that pays off, down the stretch here.
That was the last thing I was going to ask you about. Is the team just seemed like one of the guys today earlier said, everyone was just behind Eric today, and I feel like that really showed. With a couple of tough outings previously, what does that do for kind of the psyche of Eric? And also, how just joyous and happy was the team to see Eric put up a couple zeros like that after some tough outings?
I think the team, when they get excited for somebody and play well behind them, it's because they genuinely like that teammate. And Eric's a very likable kid. He is a good teammate. So to me, that's a great reflection of just, the way he treats other people. He's obviously good to them. So they want good things to happen for him. So that's a good thing. That's when the harmony amongst the group is high. When guys that are great teammates get their chances and guys want to see them do well, they typically back them up well and respond. So that's great. I think that's a strong quality. It's good that Eric has that quality. He's been part of winning his whole career at LSU, and he brings kind of an understanding of winning to Oklahoma State with him. So that's positive.
Good to meet you, Coach. Thanks for the time.
You bet.
Hey, Josh. How's it going?
Hi, Jacob.
Hey, can you put in perspective what kind of role your offense has been on this last week or so?
I thought there's been some real bright spots. I've been very pleased with the quality of the at-bats across the lineup. I think that's increasing 1 through 9 as we go through the lineup each time. I feel like more and more we're putting good at-bats together. I think we're pushing starting pitchers better than we have all year long as far as making starting pitchers earn the outs and then getting into the bullpen sooner. Those are elements that typically yield to a good 3-game series approach on offense. And so that stuff for me lately has been much, much more elevated than it was early in the year. We have some guys that are swinging the bat good. And we've got some guys that, since they've returned from being injured, have really upped our batting order. Obviously, Carson, I think, he's kind of the key figure in the middle of the order behind Christian. He's such a presence, and he's done a really nice job since he's gotten back. Getting Jake Thompson back, he's also a middle of the order presence, and behind Christian, with a righty matchup there, those 3 guys in the middle of our order are really, really dangerous. It allows Nolan to maybe hit 6th, which puts him in a really good spot and doesn't put quite the pressure on him as a true freshman. Max Hewitt has been getting on base and doing really an outstanding job of seeing a lot of pitches. So I like how he kind of sits in the 2-hole for us. Been leading Caden off. He's definitely rebounded after the first 50 at-bats weren't great. The last 50 have been much better. So I think those slots in the order are good. Cade Kavanagh is in the best position he's been in since he's been at Oklahoma State. His at-bats have been so much more quality, so much deeper, so much more concentration and pitch recognition and confidence. There's just so many good elements about how Cade is performing right now. I feel like he's in his best position. So he sits in a good spot there, giving our lineup some real power depth down into the 6 and 7 hole. And then, Huey has been better. And then, it depends on kind of how the lineup is built. If it's Brock Mathis down there behind Huey, that's an awfully good 8-9 hole combination. Or if it's Matt Gold or another middle infielder, then we can move around a little bit. So getting them all healthy, Jacob, at once has been good. We have some good pinch hitting options with Justin Campbell being a real threat off the bench late against a really tough right-handed relief pitcher. And so, I think I like our lineup. I do. I like it. I feel good about it. We got to keep getting better, but I do. I feel confident in that group.
One of those guys you mentioned a lot was Christian. Does he continue to wow you? What do you think when you watch some of these home runs and what he does on the field?
I think he's pretty good. I really do. I mean, I see him hitting some balls that, quite honestly, he's reaching places that are not normally seen by college hitters. I mean, the balls to straightaway center, the ball tonight to straightaway center in particular, I was shocked. And he's a good hitter. His hand strength is real. He's registering some balls right now off the bat that are high level, that are, we have 2 guys in our dugout that, saw the big leagues inside and out for many, 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 many years, both as players and obviously Robin as a manager. And Matt knew a thing or two about hitting a ball, a country mile. And I think they would tell you that they see some impressive hand strength in Christian that is pretty unique at our level. So, he's a threat. He's evolving. He's gotten better. He's really lit up to the season, meaning he's really elevated himself in the games. I just think he's just in a good spot. And I think his work ethic and strength allow him to repeat it.
He talked about, and I talked to his junior college coach earlier today, and they both talked about how far he's come since high school. I know you didn't, I don't know if you knew him in high school, and he said grades were an issue and he lost his scholarship and stuff, but how far have you seen him come as a person and a player?
The greatest thing that I've seen in Christian is his relationships he's built with the people here and his willingness to trust us to take care of him, meaning put him in position to be successful, help him achieve his goals as a student, help him grow up as a person, mentor him about baseball and talk to him about the things of how to continue to grow as a player. He's learned a lot about taking care of himself and eating healthy and working out hard. And he's learned a lot about his defense and his offense. And I think he's found that the people here really care about him as a person. I think he's grown as a student. And I just think this has been a great experience for him. He's a fit here. He's totally what we're about here, which is a tough kid that loves the game, that wants to be something in life, that's coming here, and he's putting it on the line every single day. There's not been one day since he got here he's taken a day off from getting better. He's just completely pushed himself from day one, and he's a neat kid. He's been a hard worker, and he's got a lot of toughness about him, but there's also a very loving, caring individual on the other side of that. And it's been fun to get to know both sides of him.
Thanks, Josh.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Thank you.